What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. I do have a video covering this topic, but I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an update since that was done quite some time ago, and I have some stuff I'd like to add. This video is going to be about groups, how to join them, what you should do, what you need to know, all that stuff. So if you're new to the Mayor's Club, maybe you're level 17 or so, you're going to unlock it at level 18, and you'll be able to join a group, and that in that group you have a total of 25 members, and you will be able to trade within other mayors. So if you haven't already, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff, and let me know if you guys have any questions or things you want me to answer, if there's a whole topic you want me to cover, all that stuff. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, when you hit level 17, you're going to unlock the tower in the water on your capital map. And on that tower, that's your comm tower. So if you see anybody typing COM, that is what they're referring to. It means Contest of Mayors. And what this is it is a place where it's a tower right here, okay? And you're going to have a list of assignments that get refreshed each week. Within the assignments, you're going to go up in leagues. So, let's say that the first league, which is the neighborhood league, starts with, I believe it's 20 assignments. Maybe, I think it's 20, maybe 10. But you're going to start with your assignments. You'll complete them. And then once you complete them, you will be able to add additional assignments with gold tickets, which yours will be up here in the top left. You will earn those as you do your assignments. You gain experience and you get rewards. Every time you go up in ranking is when you will be able to add another assignment, and you can do a total of 15 gold tickets. Now, I do have videos on how to hit the top leagues and all that stuff, but we're not really going to touch base on the Contest of Mayors just yet. This is mostly a video talking about groups. So, at level 18, you're going to unlock the clubs, okay? Now, in order to participate in war, you need to be in a club. So what club should you join and why? This is going to be based off of what you're looking for as far as if you want to do war, then I would join a war club. If you're just learning war, I would join maybe a beginner's club, an active group. So what you'll notice when you look, if you hit browse, and this is a newer feature within the last few months, they recently updated how you can join clubs. It didn't used to be this way, but it's a lot better now. So what you'll notice is clubs with, if you have any friends, it'll be here. Clubs in your country, clubs in your language, club wars, and club challenge. That is your Contest of Mayors. Now there's a refresh button you can hit here, and this is just a basic, list of clubs. Now, let's say that you want to start a club. Maybe you want to be president, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to pay 50 cash, so your Sims cash here, and you're going to hit Create Club. And this is what I did. And you're going to name your club, you're going to set your club requirements, and when you go to the Members tab, there's a little eye right here in the top corner. This is how you're going to edit your group or leave a club that you're currently in. So you hit the eye, and here you can leave or edit. Now, if I hit edit, this is where I can name my group, and I can choose to do open, which anybody can join. I can do closed, so new members can join by invitation only, or new members must apply to join, okay? So now anytime a club is in a war, nobody can go in or out. So keep that in mind. If you have somebody who's kind of being a problem, you might want to remove them before you start your war. Now, here is your club priorities. So as we were on that menu before, if you want your club to pop up in the club or section of that screen, you're going to want to check that box. So pick out, what you want your club based on. So you can do your club to be just a war club, strictly for war. Or you can choose to do contest of mayors, where you want everybody that is in the club to participate, do their assignments. Everybody's points get added up as a group, and then you get to get a group chest at the end of the week when the assignments are all done. And then everybody that participated, that donated at a minimum of 3,000 Plum Bob points, will be able to receive the group chest. Now, you do have to be in the group to get the rewards. So let's say that you bounce between clubs, maybe, or you remove players, and they collect their rewards prior to being logged into the group, they will forfeit their rewards. So make sure that if you are doing that you click on the chat bubble in the bottom left corner and join the group before you collect the rewards. So do not join it through the tower in the water, otherwise it will automatically collect those rewards. Now, the little pink circle here, this is the level. So if I want people that are level 18 and up, then that is what this button's for. So if I want to let's say I want people that are only level 40 and up. I want people that have an idea of what the game is, and I don't want a lot of newbies coming in, then I would do that. Now, the one below that is a war ranking. So oftentimes people that war's been around for a while and they want high point hitters, so they will put like higher war ranking to get players that have a better set of cards, more upgraded attacks and things like that. And then the other one here, the little green diamond looking thing, that one is your contest of mayors requirements. So, or level. So basically, as you do your contest of mayors assignments, you will go up in ranking, and that's what that is. So if you want people that are more experienced, you'll make that a little higher. Now let's say that you don't want to be a president. You just want to join a club and you get to one and you're like, okay, now what do I do? And each club, let me go back up for just a sec. Each club has a code that you will be given when it's when you make the club. Now let's say that you've joined a club and you'd like to return to this club and you need to know how to get your way back. What you're going to do is hit the little I here. And just below the club name, there is a little tiny hashtag with a code right there. That code is for that club. Write that code down or screenshot it, whatever you got to do. And then you will hit search, type it into the bar here, and it will bring you back to that club directly. You can also type it in by name, but keep in mind that there could be duplicates, and then you'll have to figure out which one you were in. So it's always good just to have that club code. So let's say that you've typed in the club code, you know the club code is correct, you were just removed, and for whatever reason, the club is not popping up. That is because when you get removed, SimCity puts a kind of a cooldown type thing, because they get people, they think that if you're being removed, it's because you were being a problem. They get people that are super annoying, so they keep you from being able to join right away. Okay, so it might be 10 minutes, might be 20 minutes or so before you can rejoin. Now, this is a problem that I run into a lot with members, and there are different types of clubs, right? So if you see a club that says active anywhere in the name, this is very important, okay? Because what they're saying is they want their members to be active. So a lot of people have different ideas of what that entails. So, for example, you have a total of 25 members that are allowed to be in the club, okay? Now, you have your president, which is always there, so now you can only have 24 members. Typically, on average, each club has anywhere from 6 to 10 vice presidents, And their job in the club is, it varies on each club, but for the most part, what their job is to be there and help members that are new, that come in, and monitor to make sure that nobody's causing any issues. And if someone is, they go ahead and remove that person. Okay. So oftentimes, vice presidents, they always stay in the club. They never leave, right? Because if you are a vice president or senior and you leave, it will automatically demote you. So you will lose that ranking, and then the president will have to promote you back up in order for you to be able to have the ability to remove people. Now, if you're a vice president, you can promote someone up to a senior, and that is all. I don't recommend doing this unless you have talked to the president of the club and they don't mind if you do that, because seniors, vice presidents, and presidents are the only members of the club that can initiate war. Now, if you just start promoting people without your president's approval, it might irritate them because they might come in and see, hey, look, we started war and we didn't want to start war right now. Okay. So always consult the president of your club to make sure that you know what's allowed and what's not allowed. Now, in our group, what we do is we do war usually on a very strict schedule because we do it strictly for contest of mayors. You have your downtime of war and you have your prep time. So we have to kind of line it up just right. So we always ask that, basically I'm the only one that starts war. Now, active players are very hard to get because a lot of times what I've known to happen is people don't stay active in the chat. Okay? So when somebody first joins a club, the first thing that you're going to want to do when joining a group is just say hi. Okay? A lot of people just join and they sit and they don't say anything. And that stands out to us in a bad way because we think, okay, this person's joined. They're not talking. What are they doing here? Are they waiting for us to conversate and go, hey, do you want to trade some storage for Dozer? And then they jump in, they swoop up to your depot and they buy everything up, right? So we don't like people that just lurk. So if you do join a group, make sure that you talk, okay? This is the biggest problem that people have is they don't conversate enough. So when you join in, you say hello, ask, are there any rules, things like that. Now, one of my rules in my group, and it is probably the most important rule, and this is always say the amount in which you're asking for. If you're asking for an item, say how many. I don't care if you want 200 of them, but tell me that you want 200. Because what will happen is people will come in and they will say, can I have some nails? I need a lot of them. Well, for people that are my level with high storage, I literally probably could have 200 nails. I mean, it's not uncommon, okay? Sometimes I have 300 flour. So when you say, I want anything I can get, that's not an answer to us. We just want to know how many you need. And when we post it, sometimes we will just say, nails up if we put them all up for you. But, if you ask for 10 and I post 7, I'm going to say 7 nails up. That way, the other members of the club know that you need the remaining 3. That way you don't have to ask over and over. And this comes into my second pet peeve, which this is usually an issue in other groups, and that is people will repeatedly ask for items when it's still, within the chat, like right here. They're like, I need 2 cream, and they'll ask it 4 times in a matter of 2 minutes. Don't do that. If nobody's responding to you, it means that they simply don't have what you're looking for, okay? Or they're not on. Now, another thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is when you are trading within a club, it's very important that the items that you're posting for your club members are not being bought by the global market. So if you have items advertised in your depot to the global HQ, you are at risk of someone outside of the club purchasing that item before that member is able to get to it. Now, this hasn't been an issue for you prior to this because you haven't been in a club, so you haven't had to post any items for anybody. But what happens is automatically whenever you post an item for sale, there is a blue box here that has a check mark right underneath your item, and it says advertise for 12 hours. So if I post this for sale without clicking off this blue box, that means that anybody in the global HQ is going to be able to see that item, and they're going to be able to access everything in my depot. Okay? So you're going to want to click off this blue box each time you post an item for a member. Now let's say that I have these electrical advertised, but I'm posting something else for somebody. I need to make sure that they're there because, like I said, if you have one item in your depot that's advertised, that means they can access any item in your depot that they have unlocked that they can see. Okay? So keep that in mind. That is very important. Oftentimes people will ask for something and the person will get there and they'll be like, well, somebody else bought it. Okay, so if a global person bought it, it will show up like this right here where the 110 is. If somebody of your club purchased it, it will show their name and your club shield, the little icon to your group. If Daniel purchased it, as you can see, it will say Daniel. Now, let's say that you know somebody in your club purchased an item, they've left the club, and now it's not saying their name. That is why. So oftentimes what people will do, and I've caught people doing this many times, is let's say me and you are trading and we're doing storage for Dozer, okay? And all of a sudden I notice that somebody just logged out of our group. And I'm like, that's quite interesting. They logged out right during our trade. And then they log back in a few minutes. Okay, so you're trading and some of your items are being purchased, but you don't have anything advertised to global. So you're like, that's a little interesting. So what they're doing is they are going to your city, sitting there and waiting for you to do your trade, and then they're purchasing it. Now, when you log out of the group, it doesn't show your name anymore. But if I don't collect those simoleons and I don't collect it right here, they log back in, it's going to show me who purchased it. So don't collect it if that happens. Wait for that person to come back and see if they are in fact the person that purchased it. Now, it is very common that people will go to your depot from the global market. So like, let's say you just had bread rolls on global and they just got sold, and then, you're doing your trade, you got nothing on global, you think you're fine. That's not always the case. A lot of times people will camp at people's depots to see what else they put up, because normally people will post rares right after that one item gets sold. Or if you are at a city and you see like one Dozer item and you purchase it, I would wait there sometimes 3-4 minutes, because they might put up another one and another one, and that happens quite a bit. So keep that in mind, that you do need to be very careful on what you have advertised and what you don't. Another thing with joining a group is, and this is going back to the active part now, because you have your slot taken up, that leaves you with 24, and then on average 6 to 10 VPs. That means you have about 10 members that come and go, roughly. Now, if you have a full group of active people, great. I would just shut down the group and not let anybody in. However, if you don't, and you are in a situation where you're just starting out, you're trying to get people, what's going to happen is people get comfortable, and they know that they don't need to talk to stay in the group. So they might be on, and because you can't visibly see when a member is online, they don't talk. And it's really frustrating because they only talk when they need something, okay? Like, they see that you need something, but they're not going to post it. They're just going to talk when they need something. And that is really annoying. Try to help your teammates. Try to be active. Even if you don't have, you're only going to be on for 5 minutes or something, at least say hello in the chat. You know what I mean? That way people know that you are online, and it just kind of keeps the chat moving, and it also keeps your group at the top of the refresh when people are trying to join groups. So what'll happen is, now this is how I run my group. Now all groups are different. That's why you need to ask the president for the rules. Inactivity could be 15 minutes, could be 30 minutes, could be 24 hours. I don't know. But in my group, if I don't see you in this chat within the last, so many hours, I'm only going to back read so far, right? And I'm going to look at my members and I'm going to go, okay, I see 4 people in here. I don't recall them ever speaking. I'm going to go ahead and boot them, right? If they are planning to be active, then they'll come back. Now, normally, what I do is I say, roll call, please, any inactive members, please say here. Booting starts in 1 minute. Here's the club code to return when you will be active. Okay? Then the people will come back and they'll say, why was I booted? I was active. I just went to sleep. No, you went to sleep. You're not active. Okay? You can't sleep for 8 hours and call that active. Now, yes, we understand that people need to sleep, but that doesn't change the fact that you're in here for 8 hours taking up space where you're not participating, right? So if you're somebody who is really, really active during the time that you're on, then talk to the president about becoming a VP, and that way you don't have to log out. I don't understand why this is such an issue for people, but for whatever reason, they don't like having to log out and log in when they're going to be on. Then you need to talk to the president about being a VP, because we need to save room for players that are active. Don't take it personally. It is not personal. Okay, we are not booting you to be mean or anything. We have people playing from all different time zones. So we have people, that are 4 hours ahead of us, 3 hours behind us, and maybe so-and-so is on when somebody else isn't, but we have all these people sleeping when these people could be on, right? So we're just trying to make room for everybody is all. Now, if you are a VP and you get promoted to VP, you need to realize that a lot of people, they slack off the moment they get promoted, all right? They think, well, I can be in here all the time. I don't have to log out. I don't have to be active. So they just stop being active. They stop talking because they don't need to talk, right? They don't ever have to leave. They don't have to worry about being booted. And that's really annoying. So typically in my group, or in many others, a VP is supposed to assist the president with the general duties of the club, and the president just makes the end call. So what I expect out of my VPs is I expect them to remove inactive players, right? Boot people that are being a nuisance, causing problems, and be there to help people that come in the group that maybe they are just playing and they need help learning, or maybe they need an item, or maybe they don't know that, they need to say the amount when asking for items. You are a VP, you are there to help the president, not put all the work on the president. Now, I don't care how you ask for people to be there but the rule in my group is that if you are in here and you are trading rare items, that you are not posting those rare items until the person is at your depot, okay? So what we will do is in my group, we will say, let me know when you're here. Okay, so if you ever see this, if you join my club, that's what that means. Let me know when you're here. I will not post storage dozer or VU items until you tell me you are here. If you see, let me check. That's what that means. Contest of mayors, right? Okay. Now, a lot of people don't know what that stuff means, but I've seen it used in many groups before. So if you're wondering, that is what that means. Now, people, if you would just be active, help out, things like that. The other thing that we expect from our VPs, and a lot of our members, is that you at least contribute towards the group chest. So when you click the challenge button here, this is where it will show your group rewards. So everybody in my group or that has joined and participated, because what will happen is people will join your club and they might say dropping points. Okay. What this means is they've started an assignment. They're ready to claim the points of that assignment. So what they're doing is they're logging into the group and they're hitting claim. Now they've received those points and it's went towards the club chest. We need a total of 600,000 Plum Bob points between all of us to qualify for this chest. The highest chest is the legendary chest. Everybody that participates at least 3,000 points will receive this reward. However, if you have somebody who's only doing the 3,000 points but not putting out any more work, that's not very helpful now, is it? So it's always good to put up as many points as you can on the board to make sure that your club earns the rewards that they need to earn. So as you can see, the rewards, it shows the rewards that you're going to get. It says right now we're at the blue chest, which is the rare chest, and it says we get 30 cash, 2 golden tickets, and $6. What the question mark is rares. It's going to give you a random rare, so it could be beach, mountain, airport, VU, dozer, and storage, right? So that is what you're going to get. It's going to be 6 totally randomly selected. Sometimes you get really screwed and you get beach or mountain. I hate when that happens. Very rarely do I get the dozer and storage, but anyway, the legendary chest, it gives you 15, so it is a big jump. However, if you have 10 players that are having to hit, 120,000 points for Plum Bob points just to get 15 rares, odds are they've put more into it than they're getting out of it. So it's really helpful if everybody kind of does their part, and that way, you don't have people that are they're using 60 VU items to do their assignments, whereas somebody else is just doing 2 damn assignments and reaping all the benefits, right? So always kind of contribute to that. If you are not in the club challenge and you're just strictly war, make sure that if you are in a war club, that you are upgrading your attacks and you're actually pulling your weight. That is a whole different thing. I do have videos on that. But that is the general idea. Now, if you want to remove somebody, you need to click the members tab, hit the 3 buttons, the little dots over here, and right here you'll be able to remove someone, demote someone, promote someone. If you're VP, you can only promote somebody up to a senior. A senior can accept invites and applications and start war. They cannot remove people and they cannot promote people, okay? If you are promoting someone to a senior, make sure that it is okay with your president. Because that person can start a war, oftentimes they will be a nuisance and start it in an inconvenient time. In my group, if you are a member of my group or plan to be, do not ever promote anybody. Okay, that is my job. I promote people, I start war, and I do all that because we've had way too many problems with people just starting it without removing inactive people. And then we have, 25 targets and only 2 of them are actually, or maybe 6 of those targets aren't even active people. So just make sure that you guys aren't, pissing off your president. It's never a good thing. Okay. If you do want to change your city name, it will appear in the club. It will change. At the very top here, these numbers, the 18 out of 25, that is how many members you have currently logged into your group. The little castle with the number 5, that shows which arena your club is in during war. You go up, in arenas. Now, the little circle with the star in the middle is your ranking on the war leaderboard. And if you hit, let's see here, you hit Okay, so I think we went through every tab. Search tab, we did that. Browse, members. All right. Now, also, when you join the club, you will only be able to type out so many words. Like, it only allows you to have a certain amount. And sometimes SimCity you'll type something up and all of a sudden you see all these symbols everywhere, like it censored it. But you didn't even say anything wrong. I don't know what's wrong with that. Certain words it will censor, and sometimes it will censor the entire paragraph of what you're saying, and it wasn't even bad. So I don't know what the reason is for it. Now, what I've come to find is that if you want to, let's say you want to say a cuss word or something, you know, if you actually type in shit like that, it's not going to go in, it's going to censor it. But if you do a J, it will work. Okay? So if you want to know how to cuss, that's how you cuss. So if you're wondering why people are typing like that, that is why. I think we've pretty much covered everything when it comes to joining a group. Just just participate, be helpful, post items for people when you can. No, you do not need to post items for free. You can always do that if you wish, but especially in my group and any time you're selling your items, I always recommend that you sell them for maximum price. That way you are, benefiting from selling your items. If you do want to lower the items for somebody, then what you would do is bring down that minus sign on the bottom. However, what people will do is, let's say I want to sell 5 seats, okay? They will go up to 5 and then lower the price from 110. Don't do that. It takes too long. Start here, because now we're only lowering it from 22. Hold the button down and then go up in quantity, and it will remain for pennies. And I think that pretty much sums it up, to be honest. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I apologize, some of my videos, my mic was messed up, so I'm trying to get those redone. If you have, a specific topic that you guys want me to cover, please give me some feedback. I'm just kind of trying to put videos out here and there, maybe a couple a week or something. But I seem to be repeating myself quite a bit because there's really only so much you can talk about when it comes to this game. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that is so much easier to discuss being able to kind of show you on my screen and talk versus trying to type it all out in the group. So I do recommend that, if you are having issues or trouble with understanding something, that it's always good to, ask somebody, but it's also good to kind of watch some tips and tricks videos. Some of the ones that I've seen on here, they give false information, or they were put out so many years ago that they're not up to date, and, they don't provide all that much intel. So please go ahead, give me some feedback. And with that being said, I am going to go ahead and end this video so I can get another one out for you guys. And have a good day.